Welcome to this bonus episode of The Life of Bryony. Today, I am getting even more nosy than normal in the best way possible.
There is nothing which makes me feel more centered than being out amongst the trees. It is the most soothing feeling in the world.
Nikita Gill is back, and I'm going to put her on the spot and find out about her essentials that create magic in her world. Nikita, tell us the 3 things you can't live without.
Yes. So it is my journal in which I can pour all of my rage.
How many of these journals do you have?
I think I've gone through 3 this year.
Of this year alone?
Yeah, I mean, it is a rageful year. It's been a rageful year for like a while now, but this has been a particularly rageful year. So yeah.
I love that you say that with a smile on your face. It's particularly rageful year. Talk to me about because journaling is obviously it's a thing now.
Yeah.
Talk to me. When do you do it, and do you do it every day?
I like to do 3 pages of longhand every day, just because I think it centers and grounds me. But the rage journal, I just write in it as soon as I start feeling that burning, searing, hot crimson inside me, lava, where I'm just like, I have to get this out, otherwise it's going to consume me. I'm very scared of becoming bitter, because to become bitter is to become cynical, and then I will lose that beautiful, what we call ras in India, which is like the juice of life, basically. And I can't afford to do that. I'm a poet. My job is to inspire people to feel hopeful and to see the world for what it is. And if I just see the darkness, then I've lost my soul, right? So this journal is everything that is dark that lives inside me, all the rage, all the fire, all the fury. And sometimes I use that in my work. Sometimes I will talk about the rage in my work. I will talk about righteous anger. I will talk about how you can turn rage into action, how rage can be a really positive thing if you know how to wield it properly, like a weapon, as opposed to, as a sledgehammer. You don't need to use it like a sledgehammer. So yeah.
So you also every morning do you do 3 pages of longhand?
I try every morning. Some mornings are just I have too much other work on and I just can't do it. But most mornings I wake up and I do those 3 pages. It's like a brain dump.
Yeah.
You get it all out, and 80% of what I write in a month isn't useful. But there'll be a sentence here or there which will become the seed of a story or a poem. And it's always really good to go back over what you've written in a month and see what you can use. And also see how far you've come from the beginning of the month. It's great.
So it's like a cycle.
Yeah, basically. Women are circadian. We work in cycles. We're not linear. And I really believe in that. And so I just obey my body and my mind when they tell me to be cyclic and things.
Love that. Okay, so what's number 2?
So the second thing is a walk in the woods. There is nothing which makes me feel more centered than being out amongst the trees. Like it is the most soothing feeling in the world. Like, and I try very hard to not look at my phone or even leave it. If I'm close enough to home, I'll leave it at home. Because I have just 2 minutes away from my house, there's like a little forest. So I just go there. And it just really centers me. It really centers me. And there's something about being amongst those trees and being on that land, on that ground, that I just go, oh, this is what it's supposed to be all about. Because trees just are. Have you ever considered that? Just being? We're supposed to be human beings, right?
I wanted to ask you if you'd ever read a book by the author Richard Powers called The Overstory.
I haven't read it, no.
It is, I think if I had to go through my list of 3 things that are essential, or 3 books that are essential to me, I think The Overstory would be on it. And it's a novel about trees.
Yeah, I love it. I think I need to read this.
And the trees are, it's so epic. I read it when I was about 1 year sober. So I was like alive with the possibility of I needed guidance. And that book gave me a lot of guidance. But it does talk to trees as I mean, you mentioned it in one of your poems actually about the forest in, is it Utah? That, you know, it's
Yeah.
that is, I mean, it's one living thing.
Yeah.
All of the trees communicate to each other, and they're all connected by roots under the ground. And also it goes back to what you were saying in the main episode, which I hope everyone has listened to, about the kind of these permanent beings that have seen so much, and they kind of, I love being right sized, and trees are very good at right sizing you, right?
Yeah.
But there's also scientific evidence, research, that when we lie under a tree and look up at a tree, our heart rate's lower.
They do because it's the same as when you look at the night sky, right? And you see like stars all across the night sky. There is no way to look at the night sky, see when the stars are out and you can see them all, and not feel some awe. There's just no way to do that. I started doing this series on Reels. I struggle with insomnia because, of course, I do.
Because you're too busy looking at the night sky, Nikita.
But that's what I do. When I struggle with my insomnia, I go out and I look at the night sky, and it's beautiful where I am, because I don't live in a city. Where I am, like by the forest, and I look up and I see the stars. Often, I sit and I write about the night sky, and I write about our connection as human beings to the night sky. And one of my favorite lines, which I've written recently, is about how the water that is inside our bodies, because we are 70% water, it's borrowed water. It's borrowed from a hurricane or a storm that happened last week, or the river that you visited like a short while ago. That is where the water in your body comes from. You are as much a part of this earth and that night sky as you are of this flesh, basically. And to remember that, you need to go into the forest, or you need to look up at the stars. Because if you're only looking ahead,
or down at your phone,
and you're doom scrolling, you forget that. So this series which I've written, maybe sometimes it can be a bit repetitive, but there are so many people who have responded to it and gone, oh, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be about. 93% Stardust, my poem, which is now drinking age. It is so old. But I wrote that poem when I was a teenager. And that poem has found its way around the world, into theaters, into like the hands of the most like unusual people, into the hands of like school children. There will be people who ask me about that poem who I wouldn't expect to have ever heard of it. I knew this is the way I knew that like that poem was famous, though, is I found it scrawled on a bathroom wall.
Wow.
That's how you know you've made it as a poet, is like when someone scrawls your poem on a bathroom wall. And it's such a simple poem. It's just 2 verses, right? It's like, we have calcium in our bones, iron in our veins, carbon in our souls, nitrogen in our brains, 93% stardust with souls made of flames. We are all just stars that have people names.
I love this. Where was the bathroom?
This was in one of the, it's ages ago. This is one of the airport toilet. That's where it was.
Yeah.
It's a good place for it to be.
Yeah.
That's when you know you made it as a poet, though. Someone has graffitied your poem on a bathroom wall. Like,
of all the bathroom stalls in all the world.
I was like, that's me. I wrote that.
I love that.
Yeah. So I feel like that grounds me. So being in the forest, looking up at the night sky, that's my second thing.
Your third thing?
My bed, man. I love my bed.
Talk to us about your bed, like, because beds are. I don't understand people who can just go to sleep anywhere or in any bed.
I don't go to sleep in my bed. That's not just all I do. And that's going to sound like a euphemism. It is not a euphemism.
That's fine, but it's fine if it is, Nikita. It's fine if it is. Beds are for many things.
Beds are for many things, and that's exactly why I love my bed, because it is for many things. I think I know I don't come across as this on this podcast, but I am quite introverted. I think I'm a poet. I can be quite introverted, and I think I run out of social battery. And I love lying in my bed and staring at the ceiling after I've completely run out of social battery. and knowing I have nothing else to do
Yeah.
for the next 8 hours, 12 hours, whatever, other than lie there and look up at my ceiling. Or maybe I've got a projector in my bedroom. I put on like a movie and it becomes like a cinema space. Or I just put up, one of those YouTube videos of like the rain falling on a window.
Yeah.
Or you can turn it into like, just there's a storm in the middle of the woods in Malaysia somewhere, but you've got it in your bedroom now. It's great.
I love my favorite thing is being in bed and it pouring with rain outside and feeling cozy. And last night, as part of my preparation for this podcast, I was lying on my bed reading one of your poetry collections. I think it was Wild Embers.
Yeah.
And the weather was as wild as the title of the book outside. It was like the rain was hammering on the window, and it was
great.
Just like one of the most heavenly moments of my year so far. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for reading Wild Embers. 8 years since I wrote that
That's
book.
not that long ago.
Oh my God. Like, just to tell like a last anecdote, which is quite funny, and it really does crack me up till date. Someone came up to me at like it wasn't for Wild Embers, it was like books later. I think it was for The Girl and the Goddess. And I was like at an event and I was on a panel. And this lady comes up to me, amazing like lady. And she was like dressed in the fanciest like coat, such a cool coat. It was like a pirate coat basically. And she comes up to me and she goes, "I really loved your book, Wild Embryos." And I'm like, why did I not call it that?
I think that could be the sequel.
Like, surely. Like, and I told my friends this story, so now we have a group chat called the Wild Embryos. Like, what a great name!
I think that should be
the band name.
It should be a band name, but it also maybe you could just have a follow up. Wild Embryos, the follow up to Wild Embers.
It's such a great name.
Wild Embryos.
Love
On
it.
that note,
yes,
we look forward to listening to Nikita Gill's new rock band, the Wild Embryos. You heard it here first. I don't know about you, but Nikita Gill has now made it onto the list of 3 things I can't live without. If this episode brought you as much joy as it did me, or it made you think about your own non-negotiables, pass it on to a friend who could use a smile. As well, please follow and subscribe because it makes the world of difference to us and allows us to continue making wonderful content like this with Nikita. But most of all, look after yourself and I'll see you next time.